I'm going to read to you now from a really cool antique booklet, The Junior Safety Volunteer, it's called. And it was given away by the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, and I believe this is from the late 1920s to early 1930s because of the really awesome illustrations that are in it of the cars and the people, and they're simple illustrations, and yet they say so much about the era in which they were made. So, with no further, as they say, ado, the Junior Safety Volunteer. Wouldn't it be great to know that you had saved a life or done something to keep children or grown-ups from being injured? This booklet may help you to do just that. It was printed for your use as a Junior Safety Volunteer. It tells how persons are frequently hurt on the street and in their homes, and how such accidents can be prevented. You will want to talk about this to your friends who are not volunteers so that they, too, can help you. This booklet has blank pages, too, for making a list of conditions which you think are unsafe and in need of correction, and for making notes of what you have done to prevent accidents. Show your notes to your mother, father, or some other older person so that they can see what you have done and can help you to correct unsafe conditions. Besides talking about safety, and removing causes of accidents, you, as a Junior Safety Volunteer, can show your own example how to increase the safety of the streets and homes near you. Remember that in the United States, 2 persons are hurt in an automobile accident every minute of the day, and someone is killed every 17 minutes. Nearly as many people are killed, and about 4 times as many are hurt in accidents that occur at home. Here is a real chance for you to be a lifesaver. Be sure to write to us if you can help. If you can help with your safety problems in your home or community. Where to cross streets. Everybody has the right to use public streets and roads, but we are all expected to use them in a safe manner. People who do not stop to think of safety are largely to blame for making streets dangerous. Safety volunteers can help prevent accidents by knowing where to cross streets and roads. The right place to cross a street is at an intersection, a place where 2 or more streets come together. At some intersections, 2 lines are painted on the pavement, or 2 rows of steel markers set into the pavement to show people on foot where to cross the street and show people driving vehicles where to stop while waiting for the go signal. Automobile drivers do not expect to meet people walking across the street between intersections, and neither do they expect persons to dart out from behind parked cars or other objects. When people walk in places where they are not expected to walk, motorists frequently fail to see them until it's way too late. People who cross streets between intersections or cross diagonally from one corner to another at an intersection are called jaywalkers. Often they may get away of passing automobiles, and many of them get injured by getting in the way. Safety volunteers have no place in their rank for jaywalkers. So cross streets only at intersections. Don't be a jaywalker. Naturally, it follows when to cross streets. Years ago, when our present cities were small villages, there was plenty of room on the streets for horses and wagons. Today, these same streets, not much wider than they were before, are crowded with fast-moving automobiles. To prevent accidents and needless delays, rules telling people when to cross streets are necessary for people on foot as well as for the drivers of vehicles. Safety volunteers can help prevent accidents by knowing and following these rules and by teaching the rules to young children. Traffic lights or policemen or both are stationed at some intersections. The green traffic light means go, the yellow means caution, and the red light means stop. Persons who cross against the red, besides slowing up traffic or perhaps causing a serious accident, are unfair to those who waited for the green light. Traffic policemen usually signal by hand or blow whistles to start or stop traffic. Safety volunteers can help traffic policemen by waiting for the proper signal before crossing a street and by teaching small children that the traffic officer is really their friend. At an intersection where there are no traffic lights or policemen, safety volunteers should keep a sharp lookout for automobiles, particularly before leaving the curb. How to cross streets. When was the last time you almost had an accident while crossing a street? Were you doing something you had done before, even though you knew it was dangerous? If so, you are forming unsafe habits. One unsafe habit, for example, is that of stepping into the street without looking to see what is coming. It is especially dangerous where there are no signal lights or policemen. As a safety volunteer, you can show good judgment by knowing the right way to cross streets and making the right way a habit. There is one safe way to walk across a street. First, stop at the curb and wait until the street is clear before starting again. Second, watch for vehicles while you are in the street. And third, walk straight across the street. When people run across the street and dodge cars, they're taking chances, as drivers frequently cannot see them in time to avoid an accident. Yet many persons will try to save a few seconds in this way, and sometimes painful injuries are the result. In turning a corner, a vehicle may cross the path of persons walking on the green light. The driver should be careful not to strike anyone. At the same time, the persons on foot should watch out for cars which are making turns. Where to play? All boys and girls need to play in the fresh air. Play helps them to develop healthy minds and bodies. But a safety volunteer and his chums will want to play where they will not have to watch for cars or stop their games to wait for cars to pass. More children are hurt through playing in the streets than through any other cause. One way to avoid danger is to... More children are hurt through playing in the streets than through any other cause. One way to avoid danger is to choose safe places to play. Ball games and other sports which require running are quite dangerous on city streets. It is so easy for boys or girls, while catching a ball or running after a playmate, to forget all about safety. During a game, automobiles coming along the street or around the corner may not be seen, and it is very hard sometimes for drivers to know where children will run. Drivers are not always at fault for accidents to children, and there are many cases where children themselves have run against automobiles. Boys and girls living in the country or in the suburbs can usually find safe places for play. Even in crowded cities, a schoolyard, playground, play street, or park may often be found where children can play games and have fun without danger from traffic. Children who play on safe grounds learn faster and play games better than children who play in streets. About bicycles, skates, coasters, and sleds. People riding bicycles in the street are a part of the regular traffic and should be observers of traffic rules. When a child rushes out of a driveway on a bicycle or weaves from one side of the street to the other, he is not fair to automobile drivers because their cars travel much faster and cannot dodge as easily. Most automobile drivers watch out for children riding bicycles, and bicycle riders should form the habit of looking out for the automobiles. To ride safely at night, place a light on the front of the bicycle and a tail light or reflector at the rear. It is not safe for two people to ride on one bicycle, as this makes it hard to keep a good balance and steer properly. Roller skaters should obey the same rules as people on foot. Skating or coasting on a wagon or sled is fun and it's good exercise. But for these sports, safety volunteers choose places where there are no automobiles, streetcars, or railroad tracks. Stealing rides on or hooking onto the back of an automobile or truck while on bicycles, wagons, sleds, or skates is taking a chance of serious injury or death. The driver may increase his speed suddenly or come to a quick stop, or perhaps turn so quickly that the boy or girl will be run over. Some things to remember on the street or road. The safety way to leave an intersection is wrong. I meant to say the safe way to leave an automobile is to step out from that side of the car which is at the curb or near the edge of the road. If a person leaves from the other side, he may step in the path of another automobile before the driver can avoid him. In most cities, automobiles are not allowed to pass streetcars that are taking on or letting off passengers. Some drivers, however, are careless about stopping. Before leaving a streetcar, passengers should make sure that they will not step in front of a passing automobile. After leaving a streetcar or bus, it is dangerous to walk in front of or behind, as another vehicle may be coming on the opposite side. Persons driving are expected to keep their vehicles to the right side of the street or road. People on foot have more liberty, but on country roads and on streets without sidewalks, it is usually safer to walk on the side so as to see the oncoming cars and avoiding them. Before entering any automobile, be sure to check that you are to ride with a safe driver. You don't want to be in a vehicle with an unsafe driver. A person begging rides from strangers is taking two chances. First, that he may be struck while standing on the roadway, and second, if given a lift, he may find himself riding with a reckless or intoxicated driver, or perhaps a criminal. Safety volunteers at home. Besides preventing street accidents, safety volunteers can do a number of things for the safety of persons in the home. More home accidents result from falls than any other cause: stumbling over misplaced furniture or objects left on the floor or steps, slipping on loose rugs, icy walks, grease, or in bathtubs are some of the causes of a fall. Many persons fall while leaning too far over railings or windowsills, running on stairs, standing on boxes or chairs instead of using safe ladders, or running with scissors or objects that are really sharp and pointed. Burns are second to falls as causes of home injuries. Matches, which children can reach and play with, gas jets, and lamps near curtains, and matches or cigarettes not put out after use cause many burns and fires. Screens for fireplaces stop flying sparks, and metal cans are safer for ashes than wooden boxes. As a volunteer, you can remind persons to turn off electric irons or appliances after they're used, to mark poisons and store them away from children and pets, and to turn the handles of pots on the stove out of the reach of children. Remind them, too, about opening garage doors before starting the motor, cleaning and repairing stovepipes and chimneys, taking proper care of broken glass, old razor blades, and tin cans with jagged edges. Other things that you should know. As a junior safety volunteer, you should learn first aid so that you will know how to care for an injured person properly and how to do the right thing in the right way at the right time. If the wrong thing is done or the right thing is done in the wrong way, an injury may be made much, much worse. For instance, it is important to know when and how to move an injured person. Swimming and life-saving also should be learned because so few people know how to rescue drowning persons from the water. Persons apparently dead from drowning, electric shock, or the effects of smoke or gas may often be saved by artificial respiration, a simple method of starting people to breathe again. The treatment must be given promptly, though, but it is easy to learn and has saved lives by the thousands. Besides preventing accidents, as a safety volunteer, why not become a real first aider by learning how to rescue persons and how to care for injuries after an accident? Contact your local safety officers, police officers, and hospitals who may be able to tell you the best way to train as a safety volunteer.